Hi guys, I just wanted to go over Warp Bond and their Git book. So I want to show you where you can find their link. So right now I'm on Warp Bond's main page or information website. Their address is warp.bond, warp.bond. So I'm at the top of their page right now, and I'm gonna find the link towards the bottom. It's not that easy to find, but that's what I'm showing you where you can find it. So you gotta skip past the partner section, keep on going down. It's right below the warp tokenomics section. Okay, so you see warp facts and then warp view warp gitbook. You just click on that link. I already have it loaded up. Now you'll see this page. The address for this website is gitbook.warp.bond. Gitbook is spelled G-I-T book, so it's gitbook.warp.bond, and then you'll get to this page. So I just want to go through the introduction for this video, and let's go through show you what's on this page, just a brief summary on the different sections before we go into the introduction. So you got the introduction, then you got the basic section, which includes staking, bonding, tokenomics, game theory, 3,3, and then contracts. Then you go to the NFT ecosystem section, which is what makes Warp Bond unique. Is they're trying to improve on the Aum protocol and make it better and sustainable, and they're doing it by adding an NFT ecosystem on top of it and going that route. It's a sci-fi metaverse. So under the NFT ecosystem, they got planets section, a Starship part section, and Starship section. Following that, you have video tutorials. There's about 10 of them that Joel made. He's a Warp Bond team member. He's one of the leaders over there, leaders of the Warp team. So you got 10 videos over there for people who prefer to watch videos instead. That includes their introduction to Warp, why should I bond, introducing the Warp dashboard, how to get a Warp NFT Starship parts, how to buy Warp bonds, how to stake and unstake Warp tokens, how to create Warp DAI LP bonds with the Liquidity app, how to build, view, and manage your NFC Starships, the Fuel Center, how to refuel your Warp Starship, the Warp map, and how to engage a Warp jump. So there, like I said, there's about 10 videos for the video tutorial series. They're on YouTube on Warp's official YouTube page. I'll show you that page quickly here.
Travel from Earth to Proxima B in this particular case, and you can stake your tokens on Proxima B and take advantage of a much higher APY because there's going to be inherently less people in that staking pool.
Yep, so this is their Warp, the YouTube page for Warp Bond. And you have the Warp Navigator tutorial series. You can just click play all and get an idea of how to get involved in Warp and how to make money in Warp. I'm going to go back to the Git book. And the next section is how-to guides. So there's a how to buy Warp guide, how to stake Warp, how to buy a bond, how to create LP tokens. The next section is giveaways, NFT giveaways. At the time of this recording, it's February 10th, 2022, and the project already launched a couple of weeks ago. And we're only on Planet 2. Planet 2 just got unleashed and released. So I'm not sure if there's going to be any more giveaways really going forward, and most of the giveaways were already done leading up to the launch. But I think there's still going to be onboarding new partners, and maybe they will still do giveaways through the partners just like they did up to launch by giving away NFT starships. And the last section for the gift book is a media kit, which includes the logos for advertising and marketing. So, like I said, I'm just going to talk about the introduction section for this video, and it's going to be under kit book because it gets into more details than other places for warp. So here we go. What is warp? Warp isn't just another Aum clone. It takes all the best elements of Olympus Dao and merges it with the vibrant NFT ecosystem plus the gamification and metaverse game theory that the crypto world craves. Featuring starships designed by a Hollywood VFX artist or visual effects artist, improvements to the Aum ecosystem, and an entirely fair launch with no pre-sales or influencer distributed tokens. Warp is a decentralized reserve currency based on the Aum protocol. Just like Aum, each warp is backed by a variety of different assets. In the beginning, these assets will include DAI, MAI, and a DAI/warp LP. DAI and MAI are stablecoins, and the LP is a liquidity provider. So you can see there's a introduction to warp tutorial video over here, blended into the Gecko page as well. So the next section is, how is warp different than other reserve currencies? And remember, this is a Aum fork, and just this is warp's take on Aum and trying to make improvements on it and make it more sustainable and more fun to play, or bring gamification and make it fun. So the first, so we got, how is warp different than other reserve currencies? Number one, travel between multiple staking pools. With warp, users will build starships that allow them to travel between multiple staking pools with each new planet that is released. Each planet represents a different staking pool with a different APY bonus. With every new planet released, a gold rush comes into play, with a huge APY available to the first captains to reach a new planet, granting them access to the plentiful resources. As the rest of the starships arrive over time, the APY will lower proportionally. Meanwhile, on the first planet, the APY will increase as the mass exodus leaves fewer people on the home planet, making staying put an interesting economic option as well. So that's a unique proposal or idea that comes with warp. With the other Aum forks and Aum itself, they don't have multiple staking pools. It's just one staking pool. So a lot of people, they just jump around Aum forks when the next project comes up and abandon the previous fork that they were in because they're chasing APY. But now with warp, you don't have to do that. You can just stay in the same project and just wait for the next planet to be released, and that's basically like another Aum fork popping up. You get you're chasing the APY on the next planet. You don't have to leave the project to do that, and that's what warp is doing differently, and how that's the first one of the first major improvements that they decided to do, and why people are optimistic about warp. So number two is build starships through bonding. You could create bonds, build a treasury, earn NFT starship parts. With every $250 bond or more, a single starship part is granted, a hull, bridge, or engine. Combine one of each type to make a starship. Then fuel your ship with fuel cells, the fourth type of NFT given while bonding. Best part? NFTs can be sold on Opensea to buy the parts you need, or you can sell your ship part NFT to another user who needs it, creating an active secondary marketplace for starship parts between captains. Yeah, so this is another specialty with Warp. Um, so with Ohm in general, one of the key things with that is building up the treasury, and but people don't really have an incentive to build a treasury, except for the discounts that you get for buying bonds. You usually get a discount over the market price by buying a bond instead. But that might, I guess the Warp team decided that that didn't seem good enough, and it could be improved. So by introducing an NFT ecosystem and making this basically a GameFi or gamification of Ohm, it incentivizes bonding. So if you go according to the 3,3 principle, a best outcome is to bond, and the worst outcome is to sell. And like I think the second best is to stake. So with this game theory, and having the multiple staking pools, and you have to spend at least $250 to get a NFT part, and you need at least a hull, a bridge, or engine NFT to actually make a complete ship. That's going to cost at least $1,000, at least $750, and these parts are not. You can't pick the part that you want to be minted when you create these bonds. You get a random part, so if you create multiple $250 bonds, you could end up creating or minting, two hulls and one bridge, and you would have to go to Opensea or keep on bonding until you land on the remaining part that you need. So that brings some game theory, and you could only get it from Opensea from somebody else who is selling their NFT part, or you have to bond yourself, or create a bond yourself of at least $250 to get these NFT parts. So and like I said, bonding is one of the best ways you could benefit the system and benefit yourself as well. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next section, which is Warp Seasons, number 3. Each season of Warp contains a set of 10,000 ships comprised of 10 ship archetypes. You can see the website for further details. 1,000 ships are exclusive mints, and 100 are ultra-rare special editions. Seasons also include new planets that are unlocked every 15 days, 3 whole bond cycles. Each season will introduce a new functionality into the ecosystem to make the ships continue to be rare and valuable. Season 1 brings planet traveling. Season 2 brings ship battling to earn bonus warp, and so on. Warp seasons keep people coming back for more bonds and NFTs as the ecosystem matures and grows. If the demand is high enough, more ships can be minted by accelerating the next season launch. Okay, for this section, I think there's 2 upgrades, or they moved up 2 things or made 2 changes to this section. I could be wrong about one of this. So the first one, when it says seasons also include new planets that are unlocked every 15 days, I think they might have shortened that, but this is the part I think I could be wrong about. But you can get the latest info if you go to Warp Bond Discord, which I'll show you the link to right now, or I'll show you how the Discord looks like. So here you got the Warp Bond Discord. I'm in the general chat room right now. And this is where you get the latest updates from. You could chat with the team, or you could, see what the team posts, because they also chat with regular investors in here, or the community. You can see all the partners here. See Polypunks, Beefy Finance, got Polygon, Gojira, Cheetah, Toon Finance, Luxy, Hillbilly Hollers, Olympian, the Galactic Gang, there's so many more. But I wanted to just show you the Discord to show you how it is, and also you could follow the latest announcements, which was what I was trying to tell you about. Over here on the left side, you can see the official links, but click on announcements, and there are so many, but you get the latest information through here. So you can see the latest partners who got their ships. I was one of them because I won a giveaway ship through the Las Vegas Inferno esports team, and we were waiting a little longer than some of the other partners, and we have finally got our ships just recently, a few days ago. But you can see all the announcements over here to get the latest updates. So I'm going to try to find this Starship battle announcement if I can. So see right here, Starship battles mid-season update. This was on January 31st. So here's an announcement from Call Me Jace, who is Joel, the lead person of Warp Bond's team, and the narrator and the person who made the video tutorial series on YouTube. So he says, man the battle stations and divert all power to forward shields because Starship battles are coming to Season 1. The team has been hard at work developing Season 2 content, and after an internal discussion this morning, we decided to accelerate the launch of Starship battles into Season 1. This will come in the form of a mid-season update happening around between the release of Planet 3 and 4. Okay. So you can see, according to that announcement, it's coming sooner. It got pushed up from Season 2 to Season 1. It's going to be coming out, according to this announcement, on Warp Bond Discord between Planets 3 and 4. So just wanted to show you that. And this is a good place to hang out, to get familiar with the community and get more involved and get the latest info. You can see they got 17,000 members, 19 and a half Twitter followers. And now I'm going to go back to the gift book. Okay. I think I'm done with Section 3 Warp Seasons. I'm going to move on to number 4, which is Aum contract improvements. From the team that built Axion, a feature-rich staking project that includes elements like NFT stakes and a unique token accelerator, comes improvements to the Aum protocol from lessons learned in a year's development of a staking token. Warp includes more efficient bond algorithms, code optimizations, bonds being minted as NFTs, which can be traded on Opensea while active, and most importantly, a dynamic bond discount system that monitors the price of Warp and ensures that bonds do not become so heavily discounted that overminting will occur. This part about the dynamic bond discount system, I think that's more unique with Warp as opposed to the other Aum forks and Aum itself. I think they manually set the bond discounts. When they say dynamic bond discount system, I don't know if they're doing it, if the Warp Bond team is actually doing it manually or automatically. So if it's dynamic, I'm gonna guess it's automated. Okay, moving on to the next one. Number 5, fair launch. Warp will be launched under the fair launch guidelines. Warp will not be given or distributed in pre-sales or used to pay influencers. Warp will not be given to the development team or to the project leads. Any and all ecosystem fees and dev percentages on transactions are upfront and publicly displayed on the website. You could view transactions on polygonscan.com by going to the contract address, and you could check the transactions there. It's pretty hard to do, but you could check it there. During pre-launch, instead of giving away Warp, the team can mint exclusive NFTs or NFT parts as an incentive to participate in the ecosystem. These NFTs have as much inherent value as Warp tokens, as each Starship will cost $750 plus in bonds to create, and once fueled will cost a total of $1,000. If it's a fuel cell, is another $250 plus at least to bonds, but you could still try to find it on Opensea for a cheaper price if the market is selling for a lower price than how you could do through bonding. Through launch partnerships with influencers or other crypto communities, special edition ships can be given away with significant monetary value, as starships will become the rare resource in warp that unlocks the most benefits. Yeah, so I won a Starship through the Twitter Spaces AMA with the Las Vegas Inferno, and that's how I got my Starship. Some of the other people participating in the warp ecosystem also got some giveaway ships, but others are, the giveaway ships are just the base models, meaning they can't fly faster, or they're not stronger like you could do through bonding. So if you create a I think that there are there's different traits for these ships. So there's strength traits and speed traits. So the strength traits go towards the hull and the bridge, and the speed go towards the engine. So, and there's a point system value attributed to each of those traits, and which could be beneficial for your if you're going to battle, or if you're trying to get to a planet faster. So the point system starts at 250 points, which represents $250 worth of bonds, and goes all the way up to, I think, 5,000 points, which is the maximum for, I think, those three trades. So if you create a $5,000 bond, you'll get either a 5,000 point fuel cell, 5,000 point hull, engine, or Starship, and that increases the strength of your ship or speed of your ship. And the point I was trying to make, these giveaway ships, even though they're given away for free, they're just a base value, so they're only 250 point for each trait, so they're not going to be able to fight well with anybody who builds a stronger ship through regular bonding, but to still be able to participate in the ecosystem and still be able to stake, and they're not forced to battle with other ships that are much stronger than them. So that's the good thing that the team decided to do. If you have a weaker ship and a stronger ship comes across you, it can't just automatically attack you. It doesn't have that option. If you're their smaller ship, you have the choice to engage. I don't know if the other party, if they're a bigger ship, has to acknowledge and be willing to battle, or if they could just fly past you and decide to pass it up and doesn't want to participate. But for more information like that, you can ask the team or community on Warp on Discord, so you could get a better answer to that. Okay, I'm going to move on to number 6, which is short. It says, powered by Polygon. Warp has the full backing and support of the Polygon team as an official partner. We proudly displayed the Powered by Polygon badge on our homepage. Okay, that's it for the introduction section of Warp On's Gitbook. Like I do with other videos, when I'm viewing them, you can just fast forward or rewind, or watch it at 2x speed, 1.5x speed, or even do a custom speed, slower speed if you want. If I speak too fast, you could do a 0.7 speed, 0.75 speed x also. So that's it for this section. I want to probably try to do a brief overview of the Warp information website. So I'm going to go back to warp.bond. Okay, so you can see at the top it has a staking section, bond section, ships, partners, token, crew, FAQ, and the Warp app website. Yeah, actually let's show the Warp app website. To show you the interface. So you can see this is how it looks if you're connected to their dashboard or to the interface. You got the dashboard, staking section, bonds. You can see the discounts. Right now it's 9% for if you provide liquidity with the Warp DAI pair. You got if you bond with DAI, there's a 6% discount, or my which is another stable coin that also has a 6% discount on market price, the Warp market price. Got the hanger section, you got the map and a calculator. So you can see the interface kind of looks like a spaceship, I guess, dashboard or module, whatever you want to call it, where you push the buttons in, just like you're right in front of a real life spaceship. So you got a information feed over here. Scroll through that. Welcome to Warp. Warp launch imminent. So like I said, it launched a couple of weeks ago. You got an economic overview. So if you like stats, this is where you get a lot of the stats information from, under the dashboard section. The market price, market cap, total supply. Oh, and this is another feature in a Warp. There's a sell tax, and I believe if you sell Warp, it's a 5% sell tax, and it gets burned and sent to a dead address. So it kind of helps with the ecosystem, or the health of the ecosystem, and it incentivizes to be staked and not just to be, going in and out of the system like that too easily. So, and you got a treasury balance of 1.5 million, total lock value, current index, backing per Warp, the number of starships built, which is at 780 now, and I think that includes the giveaway ships, parts remaining, which is at 28,000. So we have a lot of ship parts remaining. Well, that's okay. And you can see the Earth APY is, which fluctuates, because I've been in this since launch and I see it keep on going up and down, and I guess that dynamically gets adjusted as ships are arriving to Proxima B. So right now it's 2,000 APY at Earth and about 12,000 at Proxima B. And you got 3 more planets to be released this season, and they're on standby. I got my connected wallet. There's nothing in there. This is just for demonstration purposes. And if you had a spaceship traveling, it will be shown here to a planet. And yeah, this is just for gamification. I mean, to make it look more like a game or a starship. So this looks nice. Gonna go to the staking section. Oh, I don't know, something happened. I'm gonna click refresh. Oh, something did happen. I don't know if that's normal. I'm on just the regular dash. I'm just on our empty wallet, so I don't have my regular wallet connected to it. Gotta go back to the, and let me see if bonds work. Okay, so at least you can see the bond section then. So here you can create bonds. You can see the market price for warp, which is $350 right now, and you can see the discounted price if you were to buy a bond. So it shows the discounted price right here. And these bonds, once you buy a bond, you're locked into that price for 5 days, and it's slowly dripped to you. You deposit these tokens, DAI or MAI, or combination 50-50 combination of warp and DAI in value, and in return for that you get a 5-day vesting period of warp tokens slowly drip to you, and you could claim them anytime slowly, or you can stake all of them slowly over the 5-day period. Okay, and if you add a bond, it'll be in this section, it'll be listed here, and you can add liquidity easier here. And like I said, there's a 5% sell tax, but if you're going to provide liquidity provider tokens, which is, half DAI value and half warp value, both being equal, at least $250 a combined value. And if you go through this interface, you save the 5% sell tax fee, or you avoid that by going through this interface instead of going through SushiSwap, which is the only DEX where you could buy warp tokens from. And that's it for the bond section. Next section will be the hangar. Okay, so this shows you what Starship parts you have. You could have a hull, bridge, engine, or fuel cell, and it'll show up here if you have any of those parts. Go to the manage your Starship section. So you can read that here. You must build a Starship using the Starship factory or buy a completed Starship on Opensea in order to view your fleet. So I don't have a Starship on this wallet. You can build your Starship here. Let's see what happens. Yeah, so I don't have any parts. You would need at least one of each part to build a Starship. And then you got the fuel center here to fuel your ship. You need at least 250 points worth of fuel to get to a neighboring planet, and they'll get you there in a minimum time of 24 hours. But if you use more fuel points, then you can get there faster. And the fastest you could get to any planet, even if you had the fastest engine, which is 5,000 points, the fastest you could get there is in 1 hour. Okay, that's it for this section. And we go to the map. You can see the nice artwork here. You can see Earth, which is the first planet, and anybody could go to that. You don't need a Starship. Anybody could be staking on Earth, even if you have only one Starship and it's far away at, let's say, planet 3, 4, or 5. You could still be have a stake on Earth, even though you're no longer on Earth anymore. You could still stake on there, just like somebody who doesn't even have a Starship. Everybody who enters the warp ecosystem and buys warp or has warp to stake, they could stake it. They could always stake it on Earth. They don't need a Starship. For my case, I'm actually just recently got my Las Vegas Inferno Starship, and I moved, set it to Proxima B, and it arrived there for my time last night. So I actually haven't even checked that out yet, but that's Proxima B. And so this at the map, you could deploy your fleet and maximize your earnings. So you can see the APY here if you select on Earth. You can see that 460 ships are docked on Earth. The next rebase is about 3 hours and 5 minutes. So there's a rebase every 8 hours, so that's about 3 times per day. And on a bond, it takes 5 days to complete a bond. or the whole vesting period for a bond. So if you multiply 3 times 5, that's 15 bond cycles. Yeah, so about 15 bond cycles to get through in order to complete a vesting period. And the total value, when it says TVL, that means total value locked. So for Earth currently, it has about $114,000 worth of warp locked into Earth, and that's staked, and those people are getting warp in return for on every rebase. Click Proxima B. If I do that, then you can see the APY for that. It's at 12,000, 320 ships docked. Next rebase also at the same time frame. I think all the planets are going to be on the same schedule as far as rebase, and the total value locked is 350,000. And that's it for that section. Go to the calculator. Okay, so you could get an idea of how much money you can make in the system by just inputting a value. So let's say you put 0.5 warp, which is about half this price, so $353, half of that would be like, say, 160, 170. Yeah, you can see that actually right here, $176. So if you move the slider over here, the default is 30 days. So as long as the price stays the same at $353, and your initial investment was $176, it could be worth $226, as long as the APY stays the same at 2100 APY or 2100 APY on Earth. And yeah, the potential return in 30 days could be $226, so that's about what, $50 for 30 days of staking. It's very risky but pretty good, but very risky. So DCA when you're investing, especially in crypto, and do your own research. Alright, so that's it for the warp interface. So I went over the dashboard, bonds, hanger, map, and calculator. Couldn't go over the staking page. Oh, yeah, so I don't have a stake available, so that was blocked out for me, I guess, because there's nothing in that wallet. Alright, I'm going to go back to the Warp Fund main information website and try to wrap up this video real quick. Okay, so we just went over the Warp app, which is this button right here, where you do the staking and bonding and all the main activity with the ecosystem. And here we're at the main information page. So Warp Bonds Faster Than Light. It's the next gen Web3 GameFi protocol featuring NFT bonds and buildable starships that travel within the staking metaverse. The official token address is right there. It ends in 4816 and it's on SushiSwap. It's powered by Polygon because we're located on the Polygon chain, which has super cheap gas fees, even compared to the other cheap chains. So you're basically paying in pennies per transaction, maybe 1 or 2 cents, even at 100 Gwei. Synapse is the official bridge of Warp, and they're one of our partners. Here's a few links to Warp Twitter, Warp Telegram, and Warp Discord. Lightspeed is just the beginning. Warp has launched. Here's some important links for SushiSwap, where you could buy the Warp token, Polygon Scan, where you can see the contracts and the transactions and the holders for the Warp token, Gecko. There's also what is it? Coin Market Cap also has warp bond listed now. DEX tools, where you could check the price chart and see the latest people buying and selling. I also use DEX Screener. I use both DEX tools and DEX Screener. Yeah, I'll show you those pages right now. Might as well. Here's this is a site I found a few months ago, so I'm still fairly new to it. It's DEXCREENER.com, and yeah, so you can see the DEX Screener site here. They got multiple chains that they cover, and I think DEX Tools is trying to catch up with this because their DEX Screener is actually a pretty good competition for DEX Tools because they got all these chains available to view. And some quick information for Warp Dive. The liquidity pool is worth about 1.1 million right now. And let's see if there's further information. The pooled warp as of now is 1,450 warp tokens, and pooled DAI is 544,000 worth of DAI tokens. And you could buy it on SushiSwap. And they got some links here for the warp bond information website, Gitbook, Twitter, Telegram, Discord. That's pretty cool. And a CoinGecko link, a TradingView link. Let's see. Analytics also. And you have to remember the warp bond contract. They made changes to it, but it's a fork of Aum. So I believe the original Aum contracts were already audited, so the warp bond contracts for the most part should be also just as good as the original Aum code. I'm going to show you the coin market cap page for warp bond. So you can see it's ranked 4,972 right now, but it's still a new token. You could help your investment if you're investing in warp bond by clicking on this like button daily. You could do this with your other investments too, to help support your investment. And you could also click you could create an account first, and then you click the star over here to add it as your favorites, so you can keep it on your watch list. And if you guys don't know about this, you could activate dark mode by clicking on this symbol in the upper right, the moon symbol. I'm gonna click on make it daylight, then go back to moon because I like dark mode. I like using CoinMarketCap because it has better descriptions of the projects. So you can see a pretty good description here and the links. And you can see that the only marketplace is on SushiSwap on Polygon. And that's it for the Polygon listing. I mean, not Polygon listing, with the warp bond listing on CoinMarketCap. I'm going to click a like right now. See if that's what happens. And you got to wait 24 hours to vote again. You can leave a comment here. That's a fairly recent feature added to CoinMarketCap. And if you want to add the contract to your MetaMask easily, you could just come to here, click on this Fox icon, and you'll see that header or whatever pop up info says add to MetaMask. Just click that and I'll add it to your MetaMask. I'll click that right now, and you'll see the contract address is 4816, which is the correct address, and I'm going to click that right now. Yeah, so you can see the warp logo is actually populating. I don't have any warp tokens for this wallet, so I'm just gonna click anyway, add token. I'm gonna show you in my okay, so you see it's added now. I don't have anything in this wallet, just the one Matic. One Matic is not worth much, but that's one way you could easily add the warp token to your MetaMask wallet, so you could view how many warp tokens you have in your wallet. And I'll show you the CoinGecko page for warp bond as well. Okay, go back to the top. Yep, so here's the warp bond listing. Here you also could create an account. You just click on the star after you're creating a CoinGecko account, and then you just add that to your favorites by clicking this. You get notifications. You also could go over here to the right side and you see the contract address there, and you can easily add the warp token to your MetaMask this way too by clicking on the MetaMask Fox icon. And then you got links over here. Also, the Reddit says it's part of the Polygon ecosystem. You can see the token information here. Total value locked 1,600,000, 43,000 in 24-hour trade volume. Total supply 3,692. You can see that in the Warp interface dashboard, or the Warp app that I showed you before. And you could plug in how much warp tokens you'll get if you put in your USD value or any other values if you just go through these other units by clicking the down arrow here. But I use US dollars. I'm in the USA, so, and you get currently 0.28 warp tokens for $100. Again, DCA into projects because crypto is volatile and less stressed if you just DCA and do your own research with projects. And you can see the 24-hour price action here. I'm going to show you the max for the pullout. So like with many projects on launch, it has a quick jump up and then slowly comes down, and now we're trying to find price discovery, I think this is what it's called, and trying to get some price activities go up. But this is not unusual for any project that launches, and specifically for warp forks, or I mean not warp forks, own forks. A lot of them lately since November, I tried a few of them and they've all been going downhill, so it's not just warp. And a lot of crypto projects have been going downhill, so just because you see this doesn't mean it's just specifically to warp. There's a lot of cryptocurrencies out there, a lot of competition, and they take out market share from everybody else, so it's a tough landscape. So you can see over here, you can leave your feedback. So I'm going to click on good. I'm trying to hop out warp, and warp has they are trying to make improvements and make this a successful project. You can see also only one place where you could buy warp, and it's on SushiSwap on Polygon. Yep. And you got token information here. Let's see. Yeah, so you see all-time high, it went all the way up to 3,200. I bought in some at the beginning around 1,500 when it dipped, then it went up to like 2,300. Bought some around 2,100 and then started going downhill from there. So I'm just waiting on this. Okay, so that's for the CoinGecko listing site, and that was previously a coin market cap, deck screener. Gotta go back to the main information page and go through a few more links. I know this video is getting long, but please bear with me. And you can always skip around and just go at your own pace. You don't have to watch the whole video. Where was I before? We went through these links. So Warp re-envisions the Aum protocol as a sci-fi metaverse. It's DeFi, game theory, NFT collections, and a metaverse game theory all in one. Thus, GameFi protocol builds Starship NFTs using bonds, then travel to different star systems representing multiple staking pools. The first explorers to a new system yield the highest rewards. You can see the nice interface there like I showed you before. And you got the Twitter and the Discord links here. Might as well show you the Twitter link. This is another way you can support your projects and spread word around by tweeting out the official links from your projects and trying to get it viral, I guess, and get more eyes on the projects so you could help your investment. So I've been helping out with Warp Bond and one or two other projects I'm involved in as well. So you can see the Twitter here. I got a message from
Greetings to all the warp captains out there. It's Jonathan Frakes, Commander Riker from Star Trek, The Next Generation.
Just want to show you that because I'm trying to get through this video, but that was a nice welcome to Warp Captains from Jonathan Frakes. I think he's from Star Trek. Here's more tweets from the official Warp on Twitter. So all you have to do is just come over here. You can click on this speaking symbol here, or comment, and retweet and leave a like. So I'm just going to show you how to leave a comment by clicking on that. And saying something like way to go warp, and just click reply. And it's simple as that to leave a comment and support your investment. So I just wanted to show you that. I'm going to click retweet and then click like. So that's what I did for just one of those tweets, and that's one way to support your investments. Because some people actually see that and actually view social media activity, and they evaluate their investments based on that element as well, how much social activity is happening for those projects. So try to get involved that way. Some more tweets here. Already clicked liked and retweeted for them, and I think I commented. Yeah, I did comment on these because I'm pretty active. So that's it for the Twitter. That's at Warp Bond on Twitter. And there's a Discord link. And it says, join Navigator, call me Jace for a complete overview of the Warp ecosystem. This is the video tutorial series on YouTube through Warp Bond's official website, made by Joel, the Axiom team lead. Sorry, not Axiom team, although he is from Axiom, and I myself am from Axiom as well. But the current Warp Bond token lead, front person, or the face of Warp. You got Warp staking. You choose the staking rewards, just a warp away. And yeah, we had higher APY in the beginning, but that was just for that just lasted very briefly. But I don't know why. Yeah, the APY goes on. It changes on each rebase. So it's actually far less than that, but it's still very high for a staking token and for an Aum fork. You spend fuel cells, NFTs to power your ship. You travel to different solar systems as they are released. Each planet represents a different staking pool with its own APY bonus. Spend extra fuel to be the first to arrive and earn the largest bonus before the other captains come to claim their ship. All this helps to help build up the treasury. I'm not sure how the treasury works and how it actually supports the token, because I see the price still dropping, but I hope that the treasury can be used not just for, because I know that, or I think that they're using some of these partners, they're actually strategic partners like Beefy Finance and Tomb Finance, Yield, Investment Protocol. Let me go to the partners list and show you that section. Okay, so that's Tomb Finance, Frax Finance, Beefy Finance, GDAO, Yield Enhancement Labs. I think those are strategic partners as far as Warp Bond is actually seeking additional yield or interest by staking or going through their protocols to generate even more interest and build up the treasury. I could be mistaken about that, but I'm pretty sure I saw that somewhere, maybe on the Discord. I'm gonna go back up and come back here later. I just wanted to show you or get the proper names for the partners. I couldn't remember their name exactly for Yield Enhancement Labs, so that's why I came down here. Go back up. Sorry, this video is taking too long, but you can fast forward like I said before. Okay, so I just read through this section. Yeah, so it's helping to build the treasury and hope that the treasury can be used to actually support the token price, because it doesn't seem like it actually supports the price. Well, in my view, it doesn't seem like it's supporting the price. And I've seen that in the other Aum forks as well, and Aum itself. So I'm not sure how else the treasury is beneficial, except just building the treasury. Alright, the next section is Warp Bonds. Create bonds, build a treasury, earn NFT Starship parts. Bond types. 3 bonds will be available at launch. DAI, MAI, and Warp/DAI LP tokens. Bonds will be vested for 5 days, with the Warp tokens being distributed over the course of the 5-day term. Yeah, they're distributed by slowly being dripped to you. NFT bonds. Warp improves on the Aum protocol by minting each bond as an NFT containing the bond information and its metadata. Warp NFT bonds can be bought and sold on Opensea. Grow your Starship collection with every bond. I think I gotta show you this Opensea pages as well in this video later on, if I see that link pop up. Each bond of $250 or more generates a Starship part NFT at time of bonding. Starship parts can be bought and sold on Opensea. Collect one of each type to build a Starship. Alright, next section, the Starships of War. The Starships of War also, if you're going into battle. Building a Starship requires 3 unique NFT parts issued with each bond. Collect all 3 to build your spaceship in the Warp hangar. You can own multiple Starships. So when you're doing bonds of $250 or more, you're just getting a random part. I think I said this earlier in the video. You can't just pick what part you need and then bond for that. You get a random part when you're doing bonding. If you want to get a specific part, you're going to have to try to buy it off somebody else on Opensea. And they set their own prices. The prices are going pretty good right now if you want to go that way. But you could also view it as when you do a bond, pretty much getting a part. Yeah, depending on your point of view, you could be getting a part for free, just as long as the price stays stable at the end of the 5-day vesting period and you don't lose money on your initial investment. That's one way to view it. Once your ship is built, you can expend fuel cells to travel to different planets. Fuel cells are earnable by bonding and can be bought and sold on Opensea. Yeah, so there's 4 different parts. The hull, bridge, and engine. You need those to build a starship, and then you need fuel to actually fly to another planet. So those are the 4 different random NFT parts, starship parts that you could get when you bond for $250 or more, and you get a stronger part or a faster part or more fuel if you bond in larger amounts. So season 1 starships. These were Joel is the visual graphics artist or special effects artist. He has a background in Hollywood, and he's the public face for Warp. And you see him in many of the AMAs he did pre-launch and leading up to launch yet. So you can see his artwork here with the ships that he made. So he made the original shuttle, which looks just like the one from NASA from the 80s. Dragonfly, which looks nice. Looks super quiet and probably can barely hear it going by you here in space. Got the Hercules, which looks powerful and strong. Horizon. I haven't seen this blown up version where it looks like a ball, but I've seen the collapsed version, if you want to call that. You got the Javelin, which looks really nice. Looks like a gun. They got the Viper. Looks like it got the fangs, or it looks like a Starwing fighter. Starhammer. That looks sleek. And it looks like a fighter too. Omen, that looks sleek as well. Just glides through the air. Vanguard, that looks like a piece of body armor. It looks like it could take a lot of damage. And you got the pirate ship, which is called the Pearl. And that's the one that most people want to get, and that's the most rare ship. So when you go to build your ship, you have the least chance of actually minting one of these. You have a better you're going to have a more difficult time landing a Pearl ship, which is the one to get, or which is the one that people want. So there's 40,000 parts in total for season 1, 10,000 unique starships, NFT functionality unlocked at launch, which we're post-launch right now. All systems go. That's a picture of the shuttle. And yeah, we're back to Warp launch partners, or not back, but coming back here because I skipped around. Other crypto projects are just shooting for the moon. We're going to another fucking galaxy. These official partners are joining us in our ever-expanding multiverse. We got Polygon Synapse, Tomb Finance, Frax Finance, Polydoge. Oh, their ships will look really nice. I'm not going to knock any other teams or partnerships, but some of them look better than others. So just commenting on that. Beefy Finance, they got a greenish ship background. Tomb Finance, since they're on the Phantom of the Opera chain, which has got the scary Halloween theme all year round. I really like their theme on Phantom of the Opera, and Tomb Finance falls in line with that, with the spooky theme. I got Yield, Enhancement Labs, Cheetah, Polypunks, that's another NFT project. And they got a cool pirate ship that I saw with their NFTs all along the masts of the ship. Axiom, which is where the Warp team actually came from. So most of them met each other through Axiom, or worked on Axiom for a year. And myself, I'm a regular investor, and I'm actually coming from Axiom too, so I'm invested in both projects. I'm much more invested in Axiom, and I'm here to support Warp because the team wanted to try out warp, and that's where their passion is going currently. But they still support Axion as well, and they're still invested in Axion. So Project Achira, which is another NFT project that seems to be blowing up. Galactic Gang, yeah, I helped them along with their marketing, and they have a nice NFT project going along with a real life artist who does. He's a well traveled world artist, so he does like street art, skateboard art. It would be characterized as psychedelic art, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Gotta check them out. Hillbilly Holler. That I thought this was a pretty awesome partnership. They got nice starships. You gotta check them out. If I get to Opensea, we could check their starships. Luxy is a NFT marketplace. They're pretty cool. I got involved with them. They're trying to be an Opensea competitor and giving more control to the content creators through their platform. So take a look at them. Matic News. They're on the Polygon chain. And Las Vegas Inferno. That's the first esports team that's been partnered with Warp, and the Las Vegas Inferno is where I got my I won the giveaway ship from them. I didn't even try for the other ones. I just lucked out on this because I noticed it on my Twitter feed, and it just decided to join in on the Twitter Spaces on the last minute. Started tweeting them, and I got very lucky doing that. And they also have a UFC fighter that they are partnering with. So through their own brand, they're also looking for other partners as well, and doing similar things as Warpline by seeking out partners. And going further down this page, interested in being one of our partners with your own branded starships? Find out more about becoming a Warp partner by clicking that link. And here's the Warp tokenomics section. Warp is starting with a fair launch token. No pre-sales, no IDOs, no influencers paid with Warp. Equal chances for all captains. Now I just learned about this recently. I thought IDO standard for initial DEX offering, but it seems to mean initial Discord offering. So I only learned that a few months ago, and I've been in crypto for about a year and a half, or I got started in 2020 after the pandemic, and I only learned about that recently, so I'm passing that information along to you guys because I thought that was interesting, and I'm a curious person. I like insights, so thought that was interesting. And here's more tokenomics. It's on Polygon, that's the network. It's listed on SushiSwap. It had initial supply of 1,000 warp valued at $250. So the initial pairing for the liquidity was 200,000 worth of DAI paired with 800 warp and 200 staked warp, which made the initial liquidity should be about 400,000. Because you need equal parts on each side of the liquidity pair. So if you have 200,000 DAI, that means you need $200,000 worth of warp. So that would total up to 400,000 worth of liquidity at launch, if I'm not mistaken. The launch treasury, which is 100,000 DAI. The launch bond discount was 15,000 warp. If you provided 15% for warp/DAI LP, so there was a 15% discount at launch, and that lasted for maybe a week or two. Then 10% discount for DAI and a 10% launch discount for MAI. And further along, for the tokenomics, the minimum bond to earn Starship NFT parts is $250. Season 1 Starship NFTs, bridges 10,000, hulls 10,000, engines 10,000, fuel cells unlimited. So since you need a bridge, a hull, and an engine to make a Starship part, the maximum Starships through bonding you could get is 30,000, and that's not including the giveaway ships, which aren't that many to begin with. Maybe no more than 1,000, but closer to 500 actually. So yeah, so the maximum is 30,000 through bonding of starships you could get in the system for season 1. And moving on, launch edition starships are 100 starship NFTs. I'm not sure what that is. The development, so there's a 10% dev fee on bonds, goes towards devs. 10% royalties on warp NFTs. That's if you buy and sell on Opensea. 20% warp lightspeed fund, which goes towards a SEX listing, which is a centralized exchange listing, partnerships and giveaways. Then the next section under tokenomics is deflationary measures. You have a 5% burn on all cells. Exchanging warp for another token is considered a sell. 2% burn if you withdrawing stakes under 3 hours. So if you create a stake and you withdraw within 3 hours, you get a 2%, I guess you could say, fee, and that goes towards a burn. I think it gets sent to a dead address. But if you wait at least 3 hours, then you don't get charged that 2%. And whenever you want to sell warp, you get charged a 5% sell. But it says here 5% burn on all cells. So yeah, I think it actually goes towards a dead address, and that's what happens for that fee. You got the warp facts link here, how view the warp get book link. I'll probably go back to the fact link for later on. Then you got the crew over here, the team on board your ship, which is you're the lead person, you're the captain, and then you got the bridge crew, which is Call Me Jace, who's the navigator. That's their front-facing person that I was telling you about, that did the AMAs, and the tutorial series, and did a lot of work for Warp. And he's the visual graphics artist who created the ships. You got T-Dells here, who is the lead coder, a developer. He's a full stack developer. His name is Travis Deli. You got Pete C. He's also a developer. I believe he does coding. I could be mistaken about that. They each all have a Twitter account. Some guy, he's a front-end developer, and he also helps out with moderation or mod duties in Discord, and I believe on Telegram too. Dead Poet, he works in the background, I believe, very hard as a setting up partnerships or seeking out partnerships and doing the negotiations and marketing as well. Jubin, I think he works in the financial aspect for both Warp and Axion. And then you got the mods over here. You got Delgado, ActiveEd, Fisto, Arena, McMarty, Irma, AK8, Andy, Fix, and Shimmer. So Fix and Shimmer lead the social media group, and so like I showed you how to do some things to help your investments. They're the leaders for that, and they have a group called the Galactic Raiders through Warpbond. Another name for them is Social Gorillas, and they go on Twitter mostly to help comment, like, and retweet tweets, and try to bring light and views to and impressions to the project. You follow them on Discord because they do, for this month in February, daily raids where you could try to win money for just helping out the project. So I won actually a couple of times. I got very lucky, but I normally help out anyway, so you could get involved too and take advantage of the promotion this month just for helping out your project if you're involved, or even if you're not involved, you could also help out as well. There's a email link to get in touch with the team, but they're pretty busy, so just be reasonable about that. It's only a few people, and they're looking to get profitability and making this project sustainable. So next session, join the launch. Okay, so this doesn't apply anymore. This was for basically pre-launch, but we're post-launch now, at least a couple of weeks. No longer applicable. And the last section on this page has got the Discord link, Twitter link, Telegram link, Gitbook link, and an email again. And I just want to read this. Cryptocurrencies are inherently volatile. Always do your own research and only invest what you can afford to lose. The Warp team reserves the right to change tokenomics or ecosystem features at any time. Any current or future functionality is never guaranteed. But let's be real, this project is pretty fucking awesome. So this message they posted over here, it could be applied to any investment, not just Warp Bond, not just any other crypto like Axion, or not even crypto, just cryptos themselves. It could be applied to any other investment. But the section is over here where it says they have the right to change tokenomics or ecosystem features specifically. That applies to cryptos in general. So we don't have immutable contracts, so they could continuously upgrade or make changes, and that's been happening in Axion, and the same for Warp. This is a team-led project, but they do listen to the community, just like Axion, and go based on sentiment as well. So it's not totally up to them, except they do make the final decision, and they do make the hard decisions. Let's see, there was something I wanted to go back to, the fact. Frequently asked questions. I'll go over there just to click the link and show you. Okay, so that brings up a separate page. Yep, so these frequently asked questions are very useful for any project, and a lot of people, just decide to just ask people questions without trying to do some, research before, asking questions, and it's probably a pretty good idea for you to spend your own time researching before you start asking questions, because you're basically taking up somebody else's time. And it's not, I don't think it's respectful if you do that. Like, you probably should do some research before and try to find the answer first, because all this work was done to make it easier for new investors or even current investors to get reacclimated or learn what's happening. So, and learn about the project, and it saves the team and community a lot of time from helping out so many people. So please check out this fact, because it'll cover a lot of questions and help you out. And you could always ask the Discord afterwards if you can't find the answer to your question over here, or through the Gitbook or main information webpage, but most of it's covered here. I think I'm going to go back to the main page, go back to the top, and I think I'm going to call it a wrap. Like I said before, you could just view this video on your own time frame, skip around. You don't have to watch the whole video. Watch it at 2x speed, 1.5 speed. YouTube even allows you to cut a custom speed, 0.65 speed, 0.7 or 0.8 speed, 1.21 speed, anything that suits you. Just play around with it. That's what I do with other videos as well. So I hope you found this video helpful or useful, and thanks for watching. And my name is Ruckus3000 on Discord, and you can see me on social media under Prana Prana Aum, AUM. I created that name because I was trying meditation at that time, so this is a few years old, and that's why I have Prana, which is associated with breath, and Aum is like a sound you make to try to meditate. And Distant124 is my Twitter handle. So at Distant124, you probably could find me on other social media accounts under that name as well. So Ruckus3000 on Discord and Telegram, Distant124.